much. I am very, very delighted and very excited this afternoon to be here to talk to my fellow Kenyans. And first and foremost, let me thank you for the very warm welcome, for the hospitality, for the care. Since we arrived last night, we've been treated very well. We feel at home, far away from home. Again, let me take this opportunity to thank all of you for the honor and the privilege you have accorded me and my wife to create time, despite you being very busy in your various engagements, to come and listen to us and engage with us. We don't take it for granted. It's a great honor. You are busy people in your own right, and the fact that you have found it necessary to create time to come and engage with us, we are indeed very honored and feel very privileged, and we don't want to take it for granted. Please accept our appreciation and our thanks. Number two, since I came to the States about more than a month ago, I am amazed by the love the Kenyan people have accorded to me. I'm also fascinated by the unity of the Kenyan people, of staying together as Kenyans, loving one another, taking care of each other, and being your brother's keeper. Most profoundly, I am more than impressed by the culture of hard work you have exported here to America. Kenyans here are doing well, they are doing great. Those who are employed are respected at their working places for being hard workers and being very committed and focused in the jobs that they do. Other Kenyans, I'm so happy, have graduated into creators of employment. They have started businesses that have succeeded. And that tells me and gives me comfort that Kenya, we are okay, we are good. If we are given the right opportunity, the right environment, working systems, Kenyans can thrive and succeed anywhere in the world. Mujipigie makofi. I am very encouraged that, and more than convinced, more than ever before, that all we need to do back home is to get our systems working. We have the personnel right in Kenya to transform our country. Only that we need to fix the systems and make them work. You guys have succeeded here in the United States because the systems are working. So given that Kenyans are the same people, the challenge we have as leaders is to make sure that back home the systems are working. The people to transform the economy and the country are here, they are in Kenya. You guys have done it here, you can do it back home. And that is what we seek to do. Why has Rigiji come calling in the United States? I've come to the United States to look out for my people, Kenyans who live and work here, to engage them and to listen to them and have a conversation with them. Mostly important, our party, the DCP, our slogan is listening to Kenyans. And that's why I've come to listen to the people of California. Hapa California, munasemaje? Eh? Ati California munasemaje? Hapa pia ni one term? Sure? Hapa pia ni one term? Wow. This one-term thing is everywhere. So I have come, my good people, on two fronts. One, to share with you what is happening back home. Number two, to share with you what I think you can do to make Kenya great and to address the issues that challenge us as a nation. Number three, to seek a partnership with the diaspora on how we can work together and how the brigade in the diaspora can participate in the economic transformation of our country, and how the people in the diaspora can play a role in building their country and making sure that Kenya gets nearer what is happening here in the United States. I am sure you know, but for the purposes of clarity, it's good for me to tell you that things are not that rosy back home. I have seen a Gen Z here, Kevin, speaking with a lot of clarity of thought. And I feel for our children, our young children, the Gen Zs. Back home, the government that we elected in August 2022 has turned against our young people with brutal efficiency, and they are now victims of abduction, forced disappearances, and being killed. Their crime, speaking out, demanding good governance, transparency, and accountability for their parents, for their siblings, and for the Kenyan people. A government that was elected on the platform of being democratic, of respecting the rule of law and constitutionalism, has turned against his own people. And sadly, the young ones. Brutal as the colonial government was, but very brutal. Brutal as they were, they never attacked children. Even the difficult years of the Moi rule of 24 years, that government by President Moi persecuted men. They never touched children and women. This is unprecedented. It has never happened in the history of Kenya. No government, no leader has ever turned against children. Between 2024 and 2025, hundreds of young children between the ages of 14 to 24 have been abducted, tortured, and killed. Others have disappeared. Others are in hospital with bullet wounds. It's the lowest movement for the people of Kenya. And I know from here, because you take care of many families back home, you know what is going on back home. And what is shocking is the sheer impunity of the leadership, to an extent that a minister in charge of interior, against the Constitution, has given orders to police to shoot, to kill. What is even more agonizing is that a president who has been elected by the people and who says he's a Christian and he is saved, against the teachings of the Bible, against the Kenyan Constitution, has without shame given orders to police to shoot our young people in the leg and take them to prison as they go through hospital. It's shocking, and the people of Kenya are in anguish, they are in pain. And I've come here to share with you that pain, so that even as you are miles and miles away from home, you share the pain of our young people and the parents and the people of Kenya. And that is why Kenyans across all communities, everywhere, there is concurrence and agreement that the solution to stop these abductions, to stop these killings, to stop the torture of young people is one term. That is why it is a clarion call across ridges, across valleys, on top of the mountains, in bars, in hotels, in buses, in Uber, in churches, in schools, in university halls, in the bus stops, There is no other discussion in Kenya. It's one term. Because this must stop. The killings must stop. The abductions must stop. But that is why it's good for me to tell you, because most of you may not know you have been away for long. I was elected as deputy president alongside William Ruto, and we differed along the way on many issues, mostly corruption, theft of public resources, misappropriation of public funds. But what broke the camel's back and what made me and him disagree irreversibly, that we could not agree, was abductions and killing of the Gen Zs. To a point when I was in office, when he ordered for the killing of the young people on June 25th, 2024, the following day on the 26th of June, I flew to Mombasa and held a press conference when I was still deputy president and told him off and told him that that is unacceptable, and that brought our relationship to an end. And we were never able to speak again until he mobilized resources and bribed members of parliament and senate to hold me out of office because I had publicly called him out for killing our young children. So I come here to tell you that you have a lot of influence back home. You cannot be silent when our young children are being killed. You are parents. You have children too. You have relatives back home. You cannot just sit and watch silently, doing nothing, as these children are being killed. Somebody here talks about the healthcare system. That here is Dr. Gachagua from Meru. By the way, where is Dr. Gachagua? You are not our cousin. You are our brother. Hi, bro. Wewe ni ndugu. Myself, I'm Meru. My mother is Meru. I am Kiana Kiamwari. Yeah? So, wewe ni ndugu. Yeah? The cousins are many, like Wekesa. Wapi Wekesa? Hai kuzo. Thank you. And let me tell you, this cousin movement is the greatest thing to have ever happened in Kenya, because our cousins have been misused by Raila for a long time. Long time. Every election cycle, he has been mobilizing my cousins from the Mlembe nation, from the Kamba nation, from the Luya nation, from the Kisii nation, from the Mijikenda nation, from the Taita nation, and mobilizing all those cousins and cheating them that he's taking them to Canaan. And because people have Canaan, my cousins fell for it for many years. The minute he gets there, he doesn't intend to be president. He has no such intention. He's not interested. He likes power, but with no responsibility. He doesn't want to take responsibility. So he creates problems. He is invited into government and starts eating. And that is why, like now, he is quiet. Because he's a very good observer of good manners. When you're on the table eating, you don't talk. So these cousins now have found their way as a family. And now all the cousins are talking the same language. So I saw Tinga the other day crying about cousins. He was crying in a funeral. Instead of mourning the late Phoebe Asio, he was mourning the loss of cousins from his grip. Because these cousins were mechanuka. And you know, the other day when he brought problems, he was invited to the table by Ruto to eat together. He forgot all the cousins and went alone. Yet he wanted these cousins to wait for him to mislead them every election. So whoever Tinga, well, let me tell you, don't talk about cousins. Keep off family matters. Hii ni mambo ya familia, si ndio? Mambo ya familia usiingilie wewe. So the cousin movement is a great thing, and all cousins, all in-laws, all the people of Kenya are one family now. And all the people of Kenya now are cousins opposed to abductions and extrajudicial killings, and they are all speaking the same language. So Gachagua talked about healthcare. We had a system called NHIF. It was struggling, but it was working. At least you could go to a mission hospital, get treated, and NHIF in one way or another will sort you out to a certain extent, and you are struggling with a small percentage. So what we needed to do was improve on NHIF, and all we needed was 800 million Kenya shillings to reform the system and make it working. Instead, William Ruto threw it out, brought another system, another animal called SHA and SHIF, at a cost of 104 billion Kenya shillings to replace NHIF, and it is not working, and that money has been stolen. As we speak, the hospitals have said that civil servants must pay in advance because SHA does not help. I am amazed by the work by the health system here in the US. For the time I've been here, I've interacted with many of you who are in the health sector. We have a health system that works. And you guys, when we form a new administration, we rely upon you to come and work with us and help us put in place a working healthcare system, a replica of what is happening in this great nation. You guys know it, you have done it, and you are the guys who are driving the healthcare system here in the US. Most Kenyans are in the health sector, true or false? And you guys, we have a lot we can learn from you, and you can come and assist us. Matters education, Mwai Kibaki, that great economist, the third president of the Republic of Kenya, who left a rich legacy in Kenya of free primary education. All that has been destabilized, and kids are at home. Money meant for free primary education has been stolen by William Ruto. The money is stolen from the National Treasury, channeled through the National Intelligence Service, and withdrawn in cash every Friday and given to William Ruto. He keeps most of it, gives a little to that soprano guy to go around the country bribing voters. And that is all that is happening in Kenya. Every day they carry cash in helicopters. The other day they were in a place called Bobasi in Kisii. There were 16 helicopters. They were almost having an accident in the air because of the sheer number of helicopters. The cost of the event is 3 times what they are giving, because a helicopter is $1 million shillings. 16 helicopters is 16 million. This is money that was meant for education. Kids are at home. University education, we had a beautiful program called HELP, Higher Education Loans Board. Most of you are beneficiaries, I included. He has put it aside and brought a mongrel of a system that is not working. Most of our kids are at home. They cannot access university education. The economy has come to a standstill. Pending bills have not been paid for 3 years. People who did work for government are being auctioned. Unfortunately, even when their properties are being advertised for sale by public auction, they are not being sold because there is nobody to buy. Nobody has money. Overtaxation. Too many levies. The payslip has been raided and made dysfunctional. So there is huge outcry by the middle class back home. And all these things we need to fix. But the most annoying is the violation of human rights, that nobody can say anything about what is going on. If you say something, a Subaru comes and picks you up and you disappear. Young people are being abducted and taken to court on trapped up charges of terrorism, despite the fact they have committed no crime at all. So that's the situation back home, and that is why I and others have joined hands with the people of Kenya to say that we want to have a change in government, and we are working on it, and it's going on well, only that is a little bit too far away. I've listened to that moving story of Anthony Mbuthia, a survivor of the Kiambaa Church. Some MPs from Rift Valley have been shouting at me that I should not talk about that matter. We must talk about it because history informs the present and the present informs the future. The scars of Kiambaa Church are evident with Anthony here, and he has done well to document that history. We forgive, but we have not forgotten. And we are saying never again shall we ever allow what happened in Kiambaa and in the Rift Valley ever to happen again. Kenyans must be allowed to make their choices freely on who is to govern them, who is to lead them without any reprisals from anybody for whatever reason. As we seek that change, where do you come in? You guys, you don't know. You have such huge influence back home. The fact that you assist many families, you have a lot of influence. I want you to help us by talking to the people of Kenya and asking them to stay focused, not to be intimidated, and to join us in electing a new government. Your voice matters, and I have talked to many Kenyans, and I believe now we have a serious force here in the US that can help us to talk to the people back home so that they bring the change that we desire. Again, we want you, yourself, to vote here. We have a voting station here, isn't it? Yeah. And I know we are going to lobby IBC to open more stations because it's very expensive to vote here because we only have 3 stations here, Washington and New York. And we need to persuade the IBC that Kenyans in diaspora too have a right to participate in deciding how they will be governed. But those of you who are near the voting stations, please register as voters. But help us too by talking to the Gen Zs. Kevin has put it very well. There is burning urgency for change so that we can deal with unemployment for our young people. We intend to focus on manufacturing and cottage industries as a way of creating employment for our young people and widening the tax bracket. And the way Kevin has said, they are very strong on the social media platform and they want to unite, not to divide. And he says clearly that work must bring dignity, and I agree. But I want the agencies to lobby their peers through the power of social media to know that they are doing a good job on the smartphone of creating awareness. But that is not enough, as Kevin has put it. The real transformation of the Republic of Kenya will not happen on social media. It will happen on the ballot box. The Gen Zs must take IDs. They must register as voters, and they must come out to vote. And these Gen Zs are the real thing in Kenya. Kasongo does not sleep when he hears about them. They are fearless, they are tribeless, and they don't fear. But they must help their country, their motherland, of necessity, because they have a bigger stake in our country because they have more years to live. It is in their interest that their country is restored because they have a future. And they must participate very strongly in that transformation. So the Gen Zs, I agree with Kevin, you are our partners for today. And I want to say very, very candidly that if given the opportunity to lead Kenya, God willing, the way to transform Kenya is to get good partners to work with to help you. And these partners are our young people. These Gen Zs have the ideas. They know what needs to be done in Kenya. All we need to do is bring them on the decision-making table, and they help us restore our country. So the Gen Zs in Rigiji, you have a serious partner. I have fought for you. I disagreed with William Ruto because I stood with you and for you at your lowest. When the president was saying you are criminals and you are treasoners, when he has been saying you should be shot in the leg, when Mukomen has been asking police to shoot you, to kill you, Rigiji has stood with you. I'm somebody you can trust, that I want to secure your place on the decision-making table so that together we transform our country. And I have very serious intentions to work with the young people. And if you look at the guys I work with back home, already you can see that intention. The leaders around me are young, very young. In fact, in my absence in Kenya, they are giving Kasongo sleepless nights. In fact, he would rather I went back because I'm just one. Those guys, Akina John Medho, you know Medho? Those guys are brutal. Akina Gacheri, Akina Karungo Wathango, Akina Ngogoyo, Akina Muku, young people. Already I have seen how effective it is to have young people working with you. If given an opportunity by the people of Kenya to be president or to be part of that government, I want to commit that in my government, my administration, the Gen Zs, the millennials, will be part of that government, and they'll be right there making decisions. Yeah? In fact, mimi sasa ni mzee kiasi. I'm approaching, I'll be 62 by that time. And I've worked very hard. I've really worked very hard in my life. I've not been very lucky. Whatever I get, I don't get it easily. I work hard for it. Hata ile nilitafuta ya deputy president nikatafuta wakaninyang'anya. Yeah? Lakini ni mzuri, walinyang'anya ndio nipate ile yenyewe. Si ndio? I have feeling I don't want to work as hard. But since I'll be given a responsibility, how would you not work hard and still be responsible? Because I cannot be like Raila. The guy wants to sit on the table, he doesn't want to be responsible. I want to be responsible, but I don't want to work too hard. So the only way to be responsible and deliver to the people of Kenya by not working too hard yourself is surrounding yourself with energetic, youthful guys and girls to push, to do the heavy lifting. Mimi nitatafuta hao watoto, vijana na wasichana wengi, niweke ma PS, ma CS, kila pahali, ma CEO. Kazi yangu ni kukutana nao Monday na kuwapatia the vision, wanasukuma, tunakombea notes on Friday. Wakisukuma sana, I call them, I slow them down, wasikibize inchi sana. That will be my work. And I'm telling you, I'll succeed. These guys are great. And they know what we need to do. And they have the resolve. And they will not be wasteful. They will not, be luxurious. These are guys you can bring into government. And they don't need big mansions. They can stay in the flats. They can use Uber to come to work. And they are not bothered about those big things that ministers and PSs want to have in offices. So we can still bring meaningful change by having a serious workforce of young people who are not wasteful and who are not having hang-ups about power and privileges. I want to say the diaspora people, I've come here to tell you that I want you to be my partners in the new administration because it's the right thing to do and it's wise to do that. In the 1970s, coffee was #1 foreign exchange earner for our country. In the 1980s, tea became #1 foreign exchange earner for the country. In the 90s, coffee and tea were overtaken by tourism. But in the last 10 years, and as we speak today, the highest foreign exchange earner for our country is remittances from the diaspora. It's you guys. You are the drivers of our economy. All the money we use to pay public debt is the money you send home. All the money we use to import goods is the money you send home. The money we use to run our consulate here in Los Angeles is the money you send home. So, I must be smart. I need this money to run the country. How do I get it? I am a dairy farmer. Cows produce milk because you take care of them. If you don't take care of the dairy cow, it will not give you any milk. You must be nice to the cow. You must give it hay, give it dairy meal, give it lucerne. Nowadays, we are giving them mattresses to sleep on so that they don't feel cold at night. Some farmers are even very creative. They play to them country music, Don Williams and Ken Rogers, to get milk out of the cows. You are the dairy cow of the Kenyan economy. We must take care of you for you to bring money back home. And I don't think you are going to agree to bring back money home to a government that is killing your children. You are not going to agree to send money back home for it to be given to Soprano to bribe voters. You are not going to bring back money home for it to be stolen. We must have a government that is responsible and transparent and is using public funds prudently. I intend to have a conversation with you going forward. And this is just by the beginning of creating networks with you people, where we can discuss special packages for people in diaspora to invest back home. How do we encourage you to bring back money home? Can we discuss of a diaspora bond where we give you certain interest rates that are higher than the country where you are working? Can we do away with the issue of double taxation, because it is wrong for you to pay taxes in America and tax the same money back home? How do we encourage you to start factories and cottage industries back home? Can we give you a tax holiday where you don't have to pay taxes for 10 years after you establish your factory to encourage you to invest way back home? So this is a discussion that I want to have with you along the way. Are you ready to have that discussion? Yes. And I am saying, if you get it right by engaging the diaspora brigade and agreeing, you don't need to borrow money from anybody else. You guys have the dollars that we need. All we need is to convince you that you need to bring the dollars back home. I was discussing with people in Texas, and already they have started to look into the possibilities of establishing a huge bank for the diaspora here in the US with branches in Kenya and elsewhere in the world, so that the plots you have at home, the land you have at home, when you want to borrow some money to invest here, you can use the plot and the land back at home as security to enable you borrow money to use here in the States. So this is a discussion that we are going to have going forward. Again, we want to involve you in running our government. What a better way to run the consulate here in LA than asking you guys to run it. You guys have been here for 30 years, 25 years. You know everything here. You know the way Kenyans need to stay. You know how to get business in California. You know how to stay these wazungu so that they can agree to invest back home. I don't think it is wise to look for an ambassador, a consular general, for 4 years. The first 1 year, he needs to settle down, look for a house, get to know his way around here, get to know a school for his children, 1 year is over. The second year, start making friends and networking and understanding what goes on. The third year, start now putting up a blueprint on how to market Kenya here in California and in America. Then the fourth year, before he starts implementing, his 4-year term is gone. But if you get a guy here who has stayed here for 25 years, appoint him or her as Consular General on Monday, and he or she reports to office on Tuesday, by Wednesday, business is going on. True or false? Because you know your way around here. Yeah. I want to give a commitment to the diaspora people that in our administration, you are the guys who will run our embassies abroad. Yeah. So that it is easy for you because you love your country and you know your way around here and you have the networks and you understand exactly what needs to be done and you don't need anybody to teach you. And I think we'll have very, very impactful and efficient diplomatic representation of our country abroad if we involve the people who are living in those countries and who understand what goes on. So I want to partner with you. Others, you come back home and join us in the national government. Come and take a job as a PS, come and be a CEO. If you have succeeded here. I was in the Silicon Valley the day before yesterday, the whole day. I went to Google, I went to Meta. Wow. The center of innovation, the whole world. I found 35 Kenyans at Meta, senior executives who are driving innovation and creativity, who are driving that big corporate. They know what needs to be done on artificial intelligence. They know exactly what we can do to make Kenya a very serious tech hub that will be admired by the rest of the continent. And they are doing it in America and they have succeeded. Then back home, the Minister for ICT is William Kabogo. Aren't you embarrassed? Surely. Surely. We don't need to look far. We have Kenyans who can transform our country. Those guys I found there at Silicon Valley, I met some top executives there, Kenyans. They are the ones who are driving that valley on matters ICT, others in manufacturing, others in medicine. We have enough capacity as Kenya of people who are experienced with a proven track record to help us transform our country. Yet we just go and pick fellows who have no idea as to what they are doing. So I want to look to the diaspora for a great resource of people who can help us transform our country, because I think it's the right thing to do. And I'm asking, help us to mobilize our support back home for a true transformation of our country. And Wekesa, our cousin, the Mlebe Nation is good. I was there for 4 days and it's one term. From Vihiga to Kakamega to Busia to Bungoma to Trans Nzoia. All we need to do is stick together. My brothers, George Natebea, Eugene Wambalo and Cleophas Malala to stay together so that they can provide leadership, you know. My place there in the mountain, hiyo nimefunga na kifunguo nikawachia Justin Muturi akae naye, na nikamwambia nikisikia Kasongo amerudi huko utanijibu. We were there with our cousins at the coast. Is good. Lower Eastern Ukambani is good. And the payslip holders across all communities, there are 3.5 million. And every payslip holder has an impact over 2 people minimum. another 10 million strong people. The Gen Zs, those ones are wild. They're asking for the day and the time. So we are good. We have a winning team, and all we need to do is stick together so that we have one candidate to face William Ruto. One. Yeah? And he is working very hard to divide us. Guy is not sleeping, because he knows the only way he can sleep through is if we are divided. But all of us have committed that all of us are presidential candidates. But towards the end, we'll sit down and agree on one candidate. And Rick G has given a commitment that in case the formula does not favor me, and I'm not the one picked to be the flag bearer, I and my supporters, who are in millions, will unconditionally support the candidate whom we have agreed on. Lakini wakiamua ni mimi, hii jamaa nitamkimbiza kama baisikeli ya kuibiwa. Yeah, and I can tell you that commitment is there and you should not be worried. Please pray for us and support our party, the DCP. Our slogan is listening to Kenyans, listening to the ground, because leadership is about listening to the people. When you are elected, your employers are the people who have elected you. And you must listen to your employer. All of you, wherever you are employed, you must listen to your employer. And that is what I do. I listen to the people. Since I came to the US, I'm a better leader than when I came. I've listened to many people, and I've written. And I'm going through the notes. I am a better person than when I left Nairobi. By agreeing to listen. It costs you nothing to listen to people. It only enriches your thinking. I don't know everything. I cannot pretend to know everything. I am benefiting from your experience here in the United States. We were told in California, in San Francisco, about water harvesting, so that we can use the water for irrigation in areas that are dry in California. And that's how California feeds the rest of America. I learned a lot that I did not know. At ICT, the tech world, I learned many things I did not know. When I was at Meta, I learned that for you to get productivity out of employees, you allow them to have an easy environment where there are no issues of ESR. So I found some young people there with the jeans. They are the ones who are driving that company. Even their boss is coming, they don't even call him sir. Kwetu pale kwa Ruto ukienda cabinet, unainama kwanza ukiingia karibu uguse kichwa na sakafu. And nobody is allowed to say anything. In that cabinet, I'm the only guy who was speaking. And in fact, I heard the majority leader in Senate, Haron Cheriot, saying that I never used to speak in cabinet. I stopped speaking because I realized this guy, even if you speak, he has already decided what will happen. So you are just wasting your time. So I'll just sit and not even listen because he has already decided what will happen. So they had Meta. I found working groups of young people. Nobody is a boss there. Everybody is allowed to be creative and to have initiative, and is discussed and agreed on. It was a very useful lesson for me. That given a chance to lead Kenya, I'll create such an environment even within cabinet, even among PSs. I just allow people to talk and be easy so that they are able to be creative and productive and they can be useful to the country. So I want to say I am very happy, and I wish I had more time to be here in LA, because this is the greatest theater of the world, where all the stars in film, in music are. Yeah, I'm walking around with the people here to see whether I can meet one of them. Yeah, I would have loved to be here, a longer time, but I'll come. I've really enjoyed since I came. People are very nice. They are very kind to us. And I would also have wanted time to visit the filmmaking industry to see what we can borrow from here for the purposes of exporting that experience and knowledge to our country, where we allow people to make films and to be productive. So I've just come to say how happy we are to find you here, looking good, looking successful, and I really look forward to a very healthy engagement, and whatever questions that are there, I am told there are questions I'll be given, I'll be able to answer them, and if there are any more I can answer. I want a free session. I don't believe in praise and worship, because if I want praise and worship, I have my church back home. I want to listen to people, and people don't have to agree with me 100%. And if everybody agreed with you 100%, there's something wrong. If you had everybody just praising you, they are back at home. Ruto has created praise and worship. You must thank him for the sunshine, although he has nothing to do with it. Thank him for the rains, for the air that we breathe. Even when things are not working, you praise him for his vision and insight. I don't believe in it myself. I believe in constructive engagement, and I don't know everything. And I'm willing to be corrected, I'm willing to be guided, I'm willing to be informed, so that I'm a better leader. That is a way to learn, and that is the purpose of engaging people. Not just to praise you and tell you how great you are. They also need to guide you and tell you things you don't know, and things they think you can do differently for a more meaningful and impactful realization of what you desire to do. Kwa hivyo mimi nimeshukuru sana 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 sana, na mkija nyumbani mkuja mnitembelee. Mtakuja Wamonyoro? Mtakuja lini? Mtakuja? Sasa wewe ni shemeji ama is this our in-law or our neighbor? You are cousin from Embu? Wow, which part of Embu? Hapo town kwa Mheshimiwa Mkunji. Well done. Well done. Embu people are great people. Yeah, I'm so happy to see you people and to listen to you and to have this engagement. So I don't know how we proceed with the questions that were there. Did we have, they were written or something?